Hello everyone and welcome to my J Soap Opera Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Drew reveals big changes in the paralysis storyline. General Hospital spoilers. The deaths of Jane Sidwell and Willow Kane have put Drew Kane through a nightmare, according to General Hospital spoilers and news. Willow is being given a paralytic by Sidwell that mimics a stroke. But Drew is completely oblivious to it. Drew's locked-in state is due to being drugged. All he can do is blink, because he is in a locked-in state from the drugs. Drew can't blink so as to get aid. That Drew's efforts to communicate were fruitless and that he may face terrible consequences if he succeeded in alerting anybody was, of course, Sidwell's basic message due to the regular doses of medicines. Drew is unable to move or speak, converting him from a villain into a victim in this narrative. We think it's about time for a major change, even though it's been interesting to see Drew's vulnerable side and maybe even feel sorry for him. This still demands a vengeful Drew twist that might transform everything and engage people with what lies next. Cameron Matheson needs time to contemplate his vocal options on the show. We need to hear Drew's viewpoints, and the show should give Cameron Matheson a chance to record some discussion at some point. Drew's voice has been muffled due to Sidwell and Willow's plot. But that doesn't mean fans shouldn't have insight into these thoughts. It would be great if fans could get a glimpse of Drew's thoughts in the upcoming weeks. It would be interesting to listen to Drew vent his frustrations about his current circumstances while plotting his retribution against Sidwell and Willow. Perhaps we might also get to hear Drew wishing he could help Scout Quatermain and pledging to find an escape from this dilemma. Drew is a complex character, flawed, but he really does love his little girl. Drew is a complex guy who has made his share of mistakes, yet he sincerely loves Scout and desires to be a father figure to her. Scout will likely serve as a big source of motivation for Drew as he seeks to recapture a better version of himself. Additionally, retribution will be another motivating element, as it's evident that Drew is ready to see Willow and Sidwell pay consequences for their misdeeds. Trouble may be on the horizon for Sidwell and Willow once Drew discovers a means to address the matter, while Cameron Matheson has been expertly communicating emotion through his eyes. Viewers would benefit from a deeper grasp of Drew's psychological issues. General Hospital spoilers caught his curiosity. Could kick up dust in Dan's cold heart? General Hospital spoilers reveal Cody Bell really put dead Falconeri on the spot last week when he asked his best mate how he knew that Lulu Spencer was the one. I can't speak for everyone else out there watching, but I was instantly wondering whether Dent would interpret it was questioning why Cody asked about when he knew about his first marriage and not about the most current love of his life that he had proposed to, Sam McCall. Nevertheless, Cody's questions could hit Dent in precisely the right manner to make him dwell back at former times and ponder where he went wrong. Why not Sam? How was Lulu the trigger for his conversation? Cody didn't even know her till she woke up from the coma. In contrast, he was fairly chummy with Sam. Yet, when he decided to question Dent about his own personal road toward marriage, he only thought to ask the women he was able to complete the deal with. That could make sense had he and Sam called things off and not worked out. But her death cut things short. Jay's spoilers say the tables have turned somehow. This part was confusing for me, honestly. When Nathan asked Dent whether they were cool with references to his dating Lulu, and the newly minted police commish rambled on about how he would want to be able to blame anyone but himself for missing his chance with Lulu. What gives sense when is Lulu someone didn't lost? That might have been 2 years ago, and he may have even thought that the WSB snatched that life away from him, even if it looked like he was the one who abandoned it. But last spring, Lulu wouldn't have ready to try again and had Dent been able to pull himself together. He was cold to her then, and now he is regretting himself for losing her. A wake-up call. No one could blame Dent for not being ready to proclaim his love for Lulu when she woke up from a 4-year-long coma in the immediate wake of Sam's death. He was going to be grieving for a long time, and he never would have asked Lulu to wait around for him to heal. Furthermore, he was pretty upset with her for a while, first impulsively over Sam's death following donating part of her liver to Lulu, second more sensibly because of her participation in Giovanni Gio Palmieri finding out he was adopted. But thinking Lulu was on some mythical back burner would have made Dent drag his feet a bit. Now he is complaining about having missed the boat with Lulu as Nathan moves on and takes his seat. With Cody hitting issues Dent hasn't been forced to face in years, will he come to realize he isn't so cool with Nathan dating Lulu after all, because he wants her all to himself? Jay's spoilers. Jason has a tough conversation. Will Danny fear losing his father? General Hospital spoilers and updates hint Jason Morgan will have an unpleasant chat with someone this week on the ABC soap. Jason's leaving town for Canada for a while, or at least that's his plan. Will Danny Morgan fear losing his father? Jason's been missing and presumed dead twice in Danny's life already. Jason's been missing and assumed killed twice in Danny's life previously, although the first time Danny was too young to remember. That was when he went missing the first time, and Helena Cassidy kidnapped him for a crazy twins experiment, where he and Drew Kane were held captive. That, of course, was years before anyone knew that Jason had a twin, bang thanks to them being separated at birth. The second time was a few years back when he traveled to Cassadine Island to participate in a rescue, and he was supposed to have perished in a cave in under the Cassadine mansion. In truth, he got it out, only to be dropped by the FBI for takedowns relating to the Pikeman security group. It's not been that long since Danny and Scout's mother died. It's not been that long since Danny and his sister, Emily Scout Kane's mother, Sam McCall, died, a victim of Cyrus Reynolds. Can anyone blame Danny for thinking that Jason won't come back when he tells him he is leaving again? Jason must have a feeling that there will be difficulty because he is already talked to Alexis Davis and Tracy Quatermain about changing his will. He also talked about where Danny would reside if something happened to him. But before Jason takes off with Brett Westbourne to Canada, he has to have an unpleasant chat with Danny to let him know he will be gone for a time. Danny or is Jason won't come back. As expected, Danny worries that Jason won't come back again because the past time specifically hurt him so badly, compounding that he's still grieving Sam. It's painful on Jason to watch his son frightened that he will be considered dead again, while there is a lot of risk around the whole issue. It's rough on both Jason and Danny, especially seeing fear in his son's eyes that he tries to dismiss. But Jason knows his son. Jason tries his best to soothe Danny, but he is not going to lie. It's a dangerous scenario they are trying to defuse, and Jason's objective is to return. He also aims to assassinate one particular dangerous guy before he departs, but might something go wrong in spite of everything? Should General Hospital's Jason pick Alexis or Tracy as Danny's guardian? Both women want to raise Danny. Who is the best choice? General Hospital's Jason is set to disappear once again. This time, he is preparing plans for his absence. He chatted with Alexis and Tracy about being Danny's guardian, and both women stated their case. Who should he choose? Alexis is Danny's grandma, and the two are close. With Alexis as his guardian, Danny would spend time with Christina, Molly, and Scout. Danny has been living with Tracy and the Key West for a long and is comfortable there. If he stayed with Tracy, he would be surrounded by Michael, Brent, and Rocco. This is a major decision for Jason, who is set to disappear once again. Grandma Alexis. Alexis is Sam's mom and Danny's maternal grandmother. It would make perfect sense for her to become his guardian. She adores Danny and the feeling is mutual. If he lives with her, he would be surrounded by his Aunt Christina and his Aunt Molly. They love and miss Sam, and with Alexis were the closest person to his mom. Alexis is also Scout's grandmother. Drew has been keeping Danny away from his little sister, and it has been upsetting to both of them. Now that Drew has been incapacitated, Willow has decided to lift the restraining order so the siblings will be allowed to spend time together. It would have been even better if Sidwell hadn't compelled Willow to keep Scout with her. But hopefully that will change soon. Danny will be very glad to live with Alexis and be surrounded by his mom's relatives. Great Aunt Tracy. Tracy is Jason's maternal aunt, which makes Danny her great nephew. The Q matriarch is not easy, but she is fiercely protective of those she loves, and she loves Danny. There is nothing she wouldn't do for him if Jason were gone. Danny is closer to Alexis, but if Tracy were his guardian, he would remain in the Quatermain estate, where he has been living since his mom went away. He feels content there, surrounded by family, especially Rocco and Dent. The two sons were nurtured as brothers when Sam and Dent were together, and that is how they currently regard each other. Jason also asked Michael to look out for his son, so it would be wonderful for them to live in the same house. It may be hard for Danny to move again when Jason disappears. Staying at the Key West with Tracy would provide him stability. Jason will perform another disappearing act this week. It will be interesting to watch who he chooses to take care of his son. Are you hoping it's Alexis or Tracy? Let us know in the comment section. Rick's evidence. Valentine questions Carly. Stella Rex at Portia. Rick Lansing will have proof that he is a changed man. Valentine Cassadine will also quit Carly Spencer as Stella Henry lashes out at Portia Robinson. So, here is what viewers should expect. For openers, Alexis Davis will have another chat with Rick regarding his growing friendship with Sonny Corinthos and his choice to tackle his half-brother's criminal defense cases. Although Alexis still won't trust Rick, he will argue that he is changed for the better. Rick never used to be the kind of person who would let Alexis get away with tying him up in her basement. So he may consider that as evidence that he is evolving. Sonny will ultimately get some direction from Carly on Tuesday's episode, so she might caution him about trusting Rick next. No matter how everyone else feels about it, Sonny will continue forward with making Rick part of his legal team. That means Sonny will have to explain to an irate Diane Miller that he is not fired and is merely losing his criminal cases. Back with Carly, she will face Valentine's questioning concerning the rise and collapse of her romance with Jack Brennan. Valentine may also probe Carly about their own mutual attraction and whether she wants to continue settling in the shares. Meanwhile, Elizabeth Baldwin will join Rick for a supper, so they will have a second date and mull about whether they want a full-blown reconciliation. It's evident that what Rick is hoping for, but will Liz pump the brakes and give terrible news? Other GS teasers predict Brennan will play with fire when he sits down with Rush Column. Once Brennan brings up the 5 poppies resort disaster and the project that he wasn't able to unravel, he will push for Colum's thoughts on the issue. Brennan will pretend he is in the dark and hope Colum has more luck solving the case. But Colum may have a suspicion that Brennan is onto him. At the hospital, Stella will blast Portia and encourage her to get a grip. Will Portia change her mind and try to announce Jordan Ashford's pregnancy to Curtis Ashford or do something else that deserves Stella's outburst? Regardless, Jordan may not be pregnant after all. It looks like Curtis will inquire if Jordan felt a sense of disappointment after she saw the pregnancy test results. Thus, those results may be negative. Jordan could concede that some part of her would have liked to raise a baby with Curtis, but it would be quite a gamble for her health. Plus, Curtis is already going to have his hands full with Portia's baby when he or she arrives. As for Portia, she will decide something crucial on Tuesday's show. Portia already hinted about Isaiah Gannon staying at her apartment sometimes and might extend a true move in offer shortly. General Hospital spoilers suggest Curtis will continue to negotiate some hard situations, so stay tuned. General Hospital casting shocker, new love interest in the works for Britt. General Hospital spoilers imply that Britt Westbourne may move on from Jason Morgan shortly based on certain behind-the-scenes indications. So guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe my channel without missing any update.